The NBA race to the playoffs is insane right now. 19 seeds out of the 20 are still being up for grabs, and this is probably the best last week of the regular season in NBA history, because usually in the last week of the season, NBA teams would start to rest their players as their seeding is basically wrapped up, as well as, you know, most of the teams don't really care if they're like a 7th or 8th seed or a 5 or 6 seed is not that big of a deal. I mean, they might want to get a good matchup, but it doesn't matter. But with the addition of the play-in, now everything matters. You want to go to the first. You really want to avoid the play-in, of course, so you will automatically go into playoffs. And as of now, with around 3 to 4 games left for each team, we do have the teams that are going to avoid the play-in for most of the spots, like 1 to 5 for the West. For the East, it's like 1 and 2, I believe. Let's get right into why the race is insane. So, as of now, only the Bucks and the Celtics have clinched a play-in spot, playoff spot, I mean. Knicks and the rest of the teams in the top 10 for the East and West have also clinched a play-in spot, so all of these teams are going to be in the play-in / the playoffs. But that doesn't really matter because the seeding is crazy. Like I said before, you want to get out of the play-in, but if you're in the play-in, you definitely want to be in the 7 or 8 slot, so at least you have 2 chances. And as of right now, let's talk about the East first. The only spot that's locked in is Boston being number 1. They have been dominating. But number 2 to number 5 could all be number 2 seeds. Let me explain really quick. The Milwaukee Bucks right now are holding the number 2 seed. They've been holding it for a while. But the Bucks have been horrible the past few games besides their last win against the Celtics. Lost to the Raptors, Grizzlies, Wizards, and the Knicks. And as the Knicks are the only team they should have lost to, the rest of the 3 are not that good. But they're still clinging on to that 2nd seed. And I believe they will probably be a top 3 seed at least. Then we have the New York Knicks, who just passed up the Magic yesterday for the 3rd seed. Now they're 1 game above them. The Orlando Magic is also the 4th seed, but tied with Cavaliers for the 4th seed. They have the tiebreaker right now, but a lot of things can change. Like the Orlando Magic could either be the 2nd seed because they're playing the Bucks right now, I believe, today, which is a really pivotal game. If they win that, they'll only be 1 game away from the 2nd seed. So if the Bucks lose again and the Orlando Magic win again, they'll get it or something. But if they lose it, they're basically out for the 2nd seed. The 3rd seed is still good for them, but the Bucks, if they want to win this, they have to win this today. Also, for the Knicks, they could fall down to like the 6th seed, and the Pacers can jump up to the 3rd seed. So that stuff is crazy. But 76ers and the Heat are fighting for the play-in spot right now to go up to try to go to a playoff spot. Now, in some circumstances, I believe it says the Pacers win or the 76ers will probably go in a play-in as well as the Heat. So that might happen because 76ers are only down 1, but Heat are 1.5. So it looks like the Heat right now, who are losing by 22 to the Mavericks, are probably going to stay in the play-in. And then the Bulls and Hawks are going to be playing in the 9-10 seed. Battle of the mid. So the East, that would be crazy. Because if you're... the difference of a 2nd seed and a 5th seed is crazy. The 2nd seed would probably verse the Sixers or Heat, which would be a really great series. To be honest, the East is kind of stacked this year. Heard people say this is a really bad Eastern Conference. It is not. It's one of the better Eastern Conference of the decade. 8 teams above 500 by almost 9 games, which is really good. And all of these 8 teams are pretty good, although some inexperienced. But like if you're in the first seed Celtics, you're gonna verse the Sixers or the Heat in the first round. That would be a really hard matchup for the first round. You know, previous years LeBron as the Cavaliers versus like the Pistons in the playoffs, or like just last year, the Celtics versus the Hawks 2-7. But this year it's gonna be challenging because 76ers with Embiid is really good, and then Heat Jimmy buckets in the playoffs. Talk about a little bit of the West really quick now. Number 1 seed is here. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves, Denver Nuggets, and Oklahoma City Thunder. The Minnesota Timberwolves are going against the Denver Nuggets. This game is really pivotal. Whoever wins this is probably going to get the first seed. Timberwolves look like they're more hungry to get it, but you know, Denver is unstoppable as well. OKC also in the mix for the first seed, but if they lose a game, you know, they might not get there, but they're winning by a lot versus the Spurs, so they still might get it if the Timberwolves, you know, lose, or the Nuggets losing. They might get the second seed, actually. Stuff like that. And the difference in the first seed and the third seed really does make somewhat of a difference, but the Suns or the Kings or the Lakers or the Warriors, second seed, same thing. Third seed, you might verse the Suns or the Pelicans. The race for definitely 6 and 7, and even like kind of like the 8 for the Kings. Warriors are basically going to be a play-in team, but they can still go up to the 8th spot or the 7th spot. But the race for the Suns and the Pelicans to get into the playoffs and not the play-in is pretty big, because you don't want to be in that play-in, and you really don't want to be in that play-in. For the Warriors, they've been a 10th seed for a really long time. They have a chance to go up to 8, which gives them 2 chances instead of just 1. The Lakers as well can go up to like 7 to get 2 chances to win. So Lakers versus Warriors would be really good, though. Whoever wins gets a fight to go to the playoffs, and whoever loses doesn't go to the playoffs. That would be an insane game, just like 2021, except the stakes are insane. 2021 or 2022, the Warriors, 2023 actually, what am I thinking about? No, wait, it's 2021, yes, 2021. Warriors versus Lakers, but that's 7-8, so the Warriors still have another chance. But this time, if they play, that would be crazy. The only series that looks like it's locked up is Clippers Mavericks. I believe the Clippers will clinch the 4th seed if they win one more game. Mavericks clinching the 5th seed if they win one more game as well. So that matchup looks really, really set to stone, and it's going to be such a good matchup. Part 3 of the Clippers Mavericks. The last two, both teams were worse than now. Mavericks adding PJ Washington, Dante Exum, Daniel Gafford, better Josh Green, and more to their lineup instead of playing Boban and Trey Burke and stuff. But the Clippers also adding more with James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Norman Powell, and a better Amir Coffey, as well as, you know, having no Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, Marcus Morris, and stuff like that. So that's just going to be an insane series. The West is going to be crazy, but I'm going to definitely make another video of like playoff matches once play-in and playoff comes, talking about it. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys for watching, and we're out.